Hi everyone. If you are starting to paint and this is your first time to start off and you need tips and all the guidance to start off from scratch, this video is for you. So if you've never painted before, and especially if you are a student and you're a complete beginner, I would honestly suggest you to start off with water-based paints. It could be watercolors or acrylics. I honestly wish somebody would have told me not to start off with oils. I just wish I knew that, but start off with watercolors or acrylics, any water-based paint, especially if you are a student. Start off with student quality and work your way up to artist quality. So this is my first step. Start off with watercolors because acrylics, because it's a lot cheaper than oil painting. With oil painting, you're gonna have to invest in many other things as well, and also with water-based paints you can easily work with paper, a good quality paper, and that is all you need. And my second tip to you is the colors. You don't need a lot of colors. You don't need all the colors that are out there. You need very selective colors and you can work with great paintings. So first of all, you need three primary colors: yellow, red, and blue. Blue could be phthalo blue for evening or night skies, cobalt blue for day skies or daytime paintings, red, crimson, or cadmium or deep vermilion red, a very bright vermilion red. Yellows, you need cadmium yellow. Then you need your earthy colors. It could be raw sienna, burnt sienna, and if you don't want to invest time in mixing, you can get burnt umber. Otherwise, you can make burnt umber yourself by mixing two or three colors. And apart from that, you will need titanium white. Now, titanium white is the most opaque white, so you will need that. Don't go for any transparent white. Titanium is the most opaque color that you can get in the market. So these are your colors, your primary colors, three: burnt sienna, raw sienna, burnt umber, or Van Dyke brown. They're very similar, but Van Dyke brown is very thick, so you need a lot of medium to thin it out to work with it. So earthy colors and then your titanium white. That's all you need. I promise you, you don't need any more colors than this. Now coming towards the tools and the brushes that you are going to need. I work with wet on wet techniques, so these are the brushes that I use. The largest one is a 2-inch paintbrush. This is actually a house paintbrush, honestly. Also, even the 1-inch brush that I'm using is a house paintbrush that I got from a hardware shop. So since I'm working with the texture, because of the texture that you need, sometimes you need coarse brushes. You don't need soft and smooth brushes. Depending on what techniques you're using and the texture that you need, you are going to need some coarse brushes. Some of them will be smooth. Now this is actually, the numbers are removed by now. This is a very old brush, so I cannot really exactly tell you the number, but you can see it's a medium 3 to 4, and this must be, okay, that one must be 5 and this must be 3. I'm not sure though. So I'm really sorry about that. So you can see these are the sizes that I'm using, and other than this, you'll need fan brushes. Now as you can see, this is very coarse. It's a very coarse brush. It helps you to get texture of grass, foliage, such texture, easy to work with these brushes. I would honestly not recommend you to invest a lot in brushes. You don't need expensive luxury brushes. You don't need to invest a lot in them. I've never paid a lot for brushes. I've just mentioned it to you that I use the house paint brushes, so you don't have to invest in quality artist luxury brushes. No, it could be anything. For watercolors, the general idea is you need smooth brushes, and you don't need very large brushes either, because you're working on paper. So if you're going to start off, obviously you're going to start off slow, maximum with A4 or A3. So you're going to work on that, and you need small brushes. And this is a very soft round brush that I sometimes use to soften out the clouds. This one is sometimes just to add little details. This is a liner brush, very great for details and especially painting branches and landscapes. Now coming towards knives. Knives are my favorite tools. They do so much more than they're meant to be. So I have 5 of them. I ordered them on eBay. This one is great for picking out colors from tubes or giving small details. This one, the second one, is great for mixing and adding details. And the third one, it's longer one, so it adds it helps you to make straight lines and symmetrical objects. And also the last the fourth one that I'm showing you, it's great for drawing or painting larger lines and drawing symmetrical buildings. This one I rarely use it. I honestly just use it for mixing sometimes when I need it. Otherwise I've never felt the need to use this one. I don't even know what this is for, sorry. Anyway, coming to palette. Now you can use paper plates if you want to. I would not recommend the disposable plastic ones, really bad for the environment. You can use them, but I would suggest you to invest into a sturdy solid one that you can reuse, and this is gonna stay forever with you. And get one that is going to be okay to use in any of the mediums. I use oils, and now I have switched to acrylics actually, but this is gonna work for both. Medium, very important. Now I would not recommend, if you're using oils, I would not recommend linseed oil. It's very thick, it yellows very soon, it's terrible. Poppy seed oil, I've used it, and this is a great medium. As you can see, the texture is not thick, it's somehow in between. It's not very runny or thin either, but it's thin enough to get off into the canvas. It will not dry very gummy and sticky. So poppy seed oil is great, and it may turn yellow only if the painting is kept in dark. So you need to take care of that if at some point you're going to use oils. But for now, if you're a beginner, I would honestly suggest water mediums. No hassle, no mess up, nothing, no mess at all. It's easy to clean up, just use waters. Now if you're going to work with acrylics, you may work with canvases, it is better. And if you're going to use oils, get a primed canvas, very important. If you're working with wet on wet techniques, for any wet on wet techniques, the canvas has to be primed. If it's not primed, you will need gesso to prime it first. You're gonna have to let it dry for the whole day and then paint over it. Last but not the least at all is a color wheel. Understand the color wheel. I'm gonna make a separate video on this, but for now I'll just let you know, you need to understand how the colors work with each other, what is the purpose of color wheel, how to neutralize color or bright tones, etc. Understand it. I'm gonna make a separate video on it, but for now this is it. If you think I missed out anything, please do let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions, don't forget to ask them, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for listening. Like and subscribe and share.